This week, there was an agreement announced between the new Al-Qaeda Syria government and the Syrian Defense Forces, the SDF, or the Syrian Democratic Forces, rather, which are the main Kurdish military organization, which is interesting, especially given that this coincides with the agreement or like a seeming surrender by the PKK in Turkey, or some sort of agreement between them and the Turkish government, basically like a week after that this happened. So it maybe is related, but I don't think this is a good thing. I guess it depends on the terms, but the fact that these two things are happening at the same time makes me very suspicious as to the machinations that are behind this, given that the coercive power of Turkey and the US together, when the new Syrian central government is backed by Turkey and the US as well against the Kurds both in Turkey and in Syria, is something to be very suspicious of. It's especially suspicious given that up until very recently, the SDF was fighting groups linked to the Syrian government and that are even more closely backed by Turkey than the Syrian government ever has been. The commander of the SDF signed this agreement directly with codename Al-Jalani, the former emir of an Al-Qaeda affiliate called Al-Nusra Front. Imagine going from like the emir dressed like the fucking Ayatollah of Iran to this. I gotta say though, I like this suit. At least he's going for different colors. It's interesting. It's not stereotypical. I wonder if this is halal or not. So the agreement includes a complete cessation of hostilities, the handover of control of the region's border posts, airport, and vital oil and gas fields. It also recognizes the Kurdish minority as an integral part of the Syrian state and guarantees the rights of all Syrians to representation and participation in the political process. I mean, that's not really an agreement. That's supposedly something that they already should have existed. So that it needs to be a part of the agreement is a bit worrying. This is also as concurrent with the ongoing mass killings of Alawite civilians by militias linked to the Al-Qaeda government as well. And Israel has been bombing Syria. It's just all a clusterfuck. I don't have any faith in this, obviously. I find it very weird that the Kurds caved so quickly. But I mean, they were US-backed, so it's a lot easier to pressure them now that they're probably not very useful to US imperialism anymore. And in fact, if they kept pursuing their own interests, they wouldn't be useful to it anymore at all, especially with Turkey there as well. It's a losing battle for them, though. Yeah. Previously, like, they wanted, their goal was like autonomy within Syria, like an autonomous region within Syria. Now they have signed an agreement that does not seem anything close to that. It's just really almost nothing. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens here, but I do not have much faith in this going well. It's honestly hard to say if this is better than the civil war still being ongoing or not, because the situation is not good at all. Hopefully, it at least leads to some form of stability, and this is not just like basically an unconditional surrender, because that would be fucking hilarious, especially given the fact that, I mean, hilarious isn't the right way to put it. Obviously, I'm not laughing at this at all, but it would be hilarious in a way because Rojava and the government there has been propped up by like white anarchists and stuff all over the world as like an example to follow, and now they have just signed an agreement, like the leadership of this place, which according to the anarchists, didn't actually have a leadership because I don't believe in hierarchies according to them, which was a complete crock of shit, by the way. They always had their own little state apparatus there and everything. But now the leaders of this supposedly anarchist commune, or like whatever the fuck they called it, have signed an agreement to essentially reintegrate themselves into Syria with scarcely little concessions being given to them. Honestly, it might just show that they've been a US puppet all along, because this is like embarrassing. They're almost nothing. It's not like they're in a position of weakness or anything, though I guess with the Turkish coercion they may be. But maybe this is part of like a wider deal with Turkey behind the scenes or something that is concurrent with the PKK thing. Maybe there will be some good outcome here. I'm holding out hope, because obviously I don't know what's happening precisely behind the scenes, but I can't help but have very low expectations for this, given the much more powerful forces that are behind a lot of these groups and that have pervasive influence over them, Turkey and the US mainly. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't want to make any pronouncements soon, but we'll see what happens. Look, you can call it whatever you want, democratic and federalism. It was a generic nation state, or at least their own little attempt at a generic nation state. They had a parliament, they had a head of government, not a head of state precisely, but something analogous to it. Hierarchical, same sort of thing as always, modeled on every other liberal nation state in the world. Nothing special. If you comment below this, by the way, with white anarchist bullshit trying to explain how it is actually special because they named it something else, I'll just permanently ban you on site. These men think that because they changed the name of things, they have changed the things themselves. What more is there to say?